This, light a candle instead. Okay, I hope I read that right. Let me just make sure I read it right. Yeah, do not curse the darkness. Light a candle. Yeah, better light the candle than to curse the darkness. Yeah, same thing. And a lot of times, with what's going on in people's lives these days, you have the pandemic, you have people losing their jobs, people getting sick. These are the things that people go through. And it's a tendency for people to focus on the negative rather than the positive. And I know that sounds like a cliche, like, hey, why would you focus on something negative? Focus on something positive. But let's go back to energy, which we specialize in. Energy follows where you put your attention to. And that's the part that people don't realize. They keep saying, every time we have this talk, people would say, oh, but you don't understand what's going on in my life. So, as much as I sympathize, but you're just digging a deeper hole. As simple as that. When people say, yeah, you don't understand, I'm going through this and this. Okay, got it. Now what? How are you going to fix it? You see, most people spend, what is that, 80-20 Pareto's principle? That can be applied in many things. 80-20 principle basically says 80% of the results are produced by 20% of the people in the company. That's one way to look at it. Or you can also look at like the general population. 80% of the people focus on what's bad rather than what's good. There are many ways to apply this, okay? Anyway, but the point is, if you look at most people's lives, unless they've had some training or some spiritual awakening, the tendency is to just dwell. Dwell on what's going on. All right. What now? Like that. True? Not true. And if you think about it, if you are the person who comes in, okay, understood. Okay, what's the problem? What's the issue? How do we fix it? And when you focus on that, people get pissed off. Because why? They want to swim in it. They want to swim. And oftentimes when you hear people like that, they just want to go on and on and go, hey, no wonder you're miserable. You love swimming in the mud. In other words, they're cursing the darkness, right? They're cursing the darkness and swimming in it at the same time. Well, get out of it. I know some people go, yeah, you make it so simple. Well, the concept is simple. You don't want to drown, get out of the water. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. I know what you're saying. Some of you saying, yeah, but you don't understand. I'm going through this emotional pain, blah, 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 blah. You know what I do when people do that? I sit there. They keep going, go sit there. The concept of yin and yang. You let them exhaust their yang, you stay yin. And then they used up all the complaints, and you go, okay, are you done? Oh, okay, now you're done. Okay, this is the solution. Move on. Isn't it? That's when people sit there and talk and talk. I'm going, but I can't do that. It's not nice. So I just sit there, act like I'm listening. They're just a broken record, going over and over again. Yeah, but I'm going through this. I'm going through that. I'm going, you just said that 20 minutes ago. You just said it in a different way. And you're just going on and on and on. I'm just sit there. In the back of my mind, I go, no wonder the person's miserable. You see, it shows, listen carefully, it shows that that person lost control of their emotional body and their mental body. The soul lost control over the emotional body and mental body. So the emotional body just kept, and the mind just keeps rationalizing it. So what happens? They just go deeper and deeper and deeper. Here's the problem. If you try to grab them and pull them out, most, not all, most won't snap out of it. Most will say, you don't understand, you don't care, you're not sensitive. So sometimes you just kind of let them wallow and wallow. In the meantime, you just say, okay, what's for dinner tonight? Oh, there's a good movie. But you have to act like you're present. But you're somewhere else. I know that sounds terrible. I know some of you are upset already, but here's my point. Some people, they have to go through the process. And hopefully, once they exhausted all that complaint, all those complaints, now they're ready to listen. They're done cursing the darkness. Then you just go, light them up. Clear? I know. It depends on the person's personality. Some people, they just can't snap out of it. That's why I love it. Working with Tony Robbins, he talks about pattern interrupt. And some of you who have done, what do you call this? Neuro-linguistic programming, right? Pattern interrupt. I remember one of the stories. He had this lady just kept complaining and complaining and on and on and on. So he just grabbed a glass of cold water, splashes on her face, and she goes, "What'd you do that for?" And she just snapped out of it. And then he started saying something that's funny, that's not related. And she started cracking up. And then she couldn't go back to that negative state. I don't recommend you do that. You might get sued. But the point is, pattern interrupt. You know who's good at that? Your children. When they're in trouble, "Hey, why did you do this? Why did you do that?" Your kids will go, "Yeah, Mom, I know." "Hey, by the way, did you know? You see that bird flying by? Man, that's a cute bird." And you're going, "What the heck does that bird have to do with you being in trouble?" See, they're trying to interrupt your pattern. Trying to interrupt your pattern. And as a metaphor, when a person is in darkness, you interrupt that pattern of darkness by shining massive amount of light. Make sense? I'm sharing that with you because, again, understandably, a lot of people are going through stuff, issues, their health, their relationships, their finances, the pandemic, and so on and so on. So people are suffering. No doubt about it. But the key is you don't have to keep suffering. Let's do this again. I think it was Viktor Frankl. I think he's the guy who said it. It's actually, he's not the first one who said it. That was also, believe it or not, I think said by Lao Tzu or some Chinese sage from how many thousand years ago. That pain happens, but suffering is a choice. So if you try to break it down, when you say suffering is a choice, that choice is when the soul decides how it's going to respond to whatever's happening in front of you. That's what it is. It's called making a decision not to keep swimming in the mud. It's to make the decision not keep going down that path. Oftentimes, people are lazy. I've been there. It's easy to go, "Yeah, woe is me. I'm getting attention. People are paying attention to me because I'm this and that." True? Not true. There's a saying. When a kid falls and nobody's watching, unless it's a severe fall, the child won't cry. In other words, they fall, they slip, they hit their butt on the floor, they look around first. Nobody's around. Okay, let me get up. Ow, and they move up. But if they fall, they go, "Mom's there." And Mom comes along, they go, "Some more." And then when Mom suddenly got distracted due to a phone call, "I'm okay. Mom's coming by." True? Not true. And my teacher says, many adults are spiritual babies in adult bodies. They're like, "Wah." Because they get the attention, they swim in the mud more. Yeah, because people are paying attention to my pain. People, so what happens? They swim deeper and deeper and deeper. And then at some point, when nobody's paying attention to you, you go, "Wait, I'm so deep." Then you have a hard time bringing it up because it became a pattern for you to always want to swim in the mud. I think that's too direct for you, huh? I don't babysit. I don't say, it's okay to be in pain. I'll just say it's understandable you're in pain, but don't stay there. Otherwise, you're enabling someone to have that pattern, to always go with that inertia. When certain things don't go their way, they throw a spiritual fit. Throw a spiritual fit. Why me? Why God? Why me? Whatever. That's not helping anyone. Not to mention it's creating psychic pollution to the world. So the important thing to remember is something like this. Going back to the same fundamental teaching. I am the soul. I move my body. I create my feelings. I create my thoughts. So literally, I am in the center of this circumference. Everything is happening outside of the eye. Whatever is happening, it doesn't go my way, it goes my way. I get to decide how I respond to it. That's where you bring back your power to yourself. So things don't go your way, and things will not always go your way. If somebody tells you, oh, it's okay, just be positive, everything go your way, they're lying their head off. That's a bunch of BS. In other words, that's their belief system. Hey, more power to them. Hope it's true. But the Lord Buddha said, everything is subject to change due to law of cycles. There's always bank cycles, day cycles, earth cycles, whatever cycles. Law of change. There's always going to be change. You don't like it? Well, go suffer. And the third one is what? Law of consequence. The 3 C's. Law of change, law of cycles, law of consequence. Law of consequence means what? Law of karma. Not your opinion of karma, not my opinion of karma, the law of karma. At any given time, billions of beings or trillions of beings are making decisions. They're creating certain causes. Those causes will have consequences. So you're making a choice. You might be doing everything right, but somebody might be doing something wrong that clashes with your decision. Make sense? So because of law of change, law of cycles, and law of consequence, nothing is permanent. The only thing that's permanent is you, the soul, the spiritual self. Even then, the soul evolves, so it's not permanent. Your being is permanent, but your evolution is not permanent. It continues. By the way, next month, we're going to teach the inner teachings of Buddhism revealed online. Okay? And the prerequisite for that is level 1 pranic healing or self-pranic healing. I thought I'd share that with you while we're on it. So next month, that's February. The inner teachings of Buddhism revealed. I'll dive deep into what the ancient teachings of the Lord Buddha is, including you have Theravada Buddhism, Mahayana, Vajrayana, and there are different schools of it. We'll dive into it in the inner teachings. That's next month. Anyway, we'll let you know. I just thought after talking the 3 C's that I might as well throw that in there just in case if that's any of interest to you. Okay? Anyway, let's go back. So one thing to remember is everything is subject to change. Since everything is subject to change, if you're rigid, you're screwed. That's it. You're dead. You're going to be in misery for the rest of your incarnations. But if you realize that everything is subject to change, then my response to this change will determine if I suffer or I'm happy, then that's true power. See, a lot of people, again, I've seen people put posts and say their opinion. I'm going, okay, no wonder you're suffering. They go, oh yeah, I am a being of power. I am this, I am that. Okay, great. I will not let people dictate what I feel. Well, that's good. And then they say, I can control everything in my life. Now you're really screwed. That's called delusion. The key, let's go back to the same fundamentals. The key is to know who you are. You're the spiritual self having an earthly journey. And once you're back to that state, you get to observe. You get to observe. As you observe, you decide what words to use, what thoughts to think, what actions to take. So you get to decide. That's one of the reasons why for the New Year's Day meditation and lecture, we titled it, just in case you haven't seen it, we titled it, let me put it here. We titled it, Decide to Succeed. Okay? Decide to Succeed. That's going to be on the 1st of January, which is a few days from now. And it's going to be a workshop. It's not going to be, I know you guys are asking, it's going to be Instagram, Facebook. Nope. In fact, it's going to be an exclusive group. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, but you have to sign up. So if you're on screen, I don't know if this will show up on, I don't think it'll show up on Instagram, but I'll do my best. There's a QR code. Well, it's inside, it's upside down. Oh, oops. Anyway, we'll put a QR code so you have to sign up for it. So it's going to be closed room. Originally, I thought we'll just broadcast it everywhere, like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and everything. Then after further thinking about it, I go, nope. You're going to get a bunch of people who's like, oh, I think I've got nothing else to do New Year's Day. Let me try this. And they're not serious. I'm not going to waste, powerful techniques that we're going to do together on people just say, oh, I'll try this. It doesn't work. So we're going to have it in such a way that it's a closed room. So only people who sign up, doesn't cost you anything. And then we'll go through it for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Who knows? Okay? So if you're interested, again, that's going to be on the 1st of January, 10 a.m. California time. Good way to start the year. We'll stop cursing the darkness. We'll disintegrate dark energy. I know some people go, oh yeah, I have all this psychic attack. Oh, don't get me started on that one, because a lot of that is self-created. A lot of it is not because people are attacking us. A lot of it is because of the own negative thought forms we created that are sitting in the aura. It's easier to blame other people. Easier to blame, somebody's shooting me with dark forces, blah, 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 and all that stuff. The number one I always talk about is this. Oh, yeah, the reason my finances are not improving is because somebody's attacking me. You've been sitting on your ass for months, not looking for a job, not looking for anything to be more productive. There's no one to blame outside but yourself. Laziness is not because of psychic attack. Laziness is because you didn't get off your ass and do something. It's a thought form. So on that workshop, we'll work on anti-laziness. Okay? We'll disintegrate procrastination. That's one of the biggest, all of us fall through it, me included. When you go, I'm not sure about this, I'll hold it off. Sounds familiar? That thought form alone will prevent you from being successful in everything, not just money, health, relationships, finances, spirituality. It's just simple as working out, doing exercise. Well, I'll do it later. I'll do it when the gym's open because of the virus. I'll do it, whatever stupid excuse you can come up with. All of it is just what? Procrastination, period. Call it like it is. So, if you like that approach, show up. If it's too forceful for you, you want the gentle, loving kind that kind of enables your bad habits, don't come. Because I'm going to come in with a big sledgehammer. That's the way the teacher did it to me. And it changed me from a super lazy, useless person to hopefully being a more effective divine servant. Then I know it can work for you. So that's going to be January. It doesn't cost anything. It only costs you time and dedication. If you can pay with time and dedication, you will succeed. If you can't even do that, then go somewhere else. Okay? Now, let's go back and then we'll do our meditation. So, this part in cursing the darkness has many, many levels of truth. What I just talked about earlier is emotional and mental attitude. On the spiritual realm, darkness is basically a metaphor for the lack of spiritual light. When you say lack of spiritual light, it's as simple as this. In science, there's no such thing as pure darkness or absolute darkness. The example we always give is if you have two rooms, one's darker than the other, the darker room simply means has less light compared to the room that's not dark. If you have instruments sensitive enough, you will still be able to spot some photons. Now, spiritually, it's actually better news. If you think of the worst person in the universe, the worst person in the world, there's still a spark of God within them. It's just a matter of how much. And that's one of the things I want to finish with this quick topic, and then we'll meditate. Is oftentimes people don't realize it's not black or white, it's not on or off. It's not like a person's spiritual or a person's not spiritual. It's how spiritual. So if you quantify it, a person who's a saint served billions of people, taught, healed, served, whatever way you want to use it. There's so much spiritual light in them that spiritual light within them governs every thought, every word, every action they do. If you work at the other end of the spectrum, let's say you have a criminal or somebody really bad, the amount of spiritual light in them is so tiny, their lower nature takes over. Greed, covetousness for things, sex, ideas, fame, whatever it is, the lower survival instinct are so strong that it's a lot more, so not enough spiritual light from the soul is able to come in. Make sense? So in that case, in that sense, they're in darkness. However, this is going to be a little too much for a lot of you, but I'll leave you with one thought. I think it's in Islam, they say God is everything and everything is in God. If I misquote that, my deepest apologies. But in other words, every part of existence, every particle, every molecule, every field in the entire universe are like cells in this gigantic universal being called God. It's just a matter of frequency. So even the worst thing you can think of, the worst people you can think of, there is still God's presence in it. So when you say namaste to someone, you're actually saying the spiritual essence in me, the God's presence in me, is honoring the God's presence in you. And in one of the classes that we teach, that is actually a technique to help the other person improve. So I challenge you to do a simple experiment. As we say, instead of cursing the darkness, light a candle. Instead of cursing how terrible the other person is that you think is a bad person, whether in front of them or they're not in front of you, let's say some of you, yeah, but if I tell them in front of them, they're going to slap me. Okay. So at night, before you go to bed, visualize this person. Put your hand in your heart like this. Put the attention in your heart in your crown. Visualize it in front of you. Look through their eyes and just keep saying namaste. Say it, if you want the more concrete, say it 36 times. If you can do 108, even better. So literally, visualize the person in front of you. Okay? Look through their eyes. Remember, the eyes are the windows of the soul. The eyes are the windows to the soul. The problem is most people get stuck with the window. Try to determine who's behind the window, who's looking through the window. Your window, you're looking, the soul. Their window, their eyes, beyond it is the soul. So you look through their eyes, and most of you, as you do this, by the time you get to, now, when you say namaste, don't go, namaste, 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 no, do it like, look through their eyes, namaste. Now be still and really recognize God's essence in them. You do this probably by the 7th or 8th or 9th time, doing it like namaste and still. By the time you get the 9th time, you're blissing out. And when you're done, you'll notice most of you say, well, they're not as bad as I thought. Now, here's what you don't understand. As you keep doing this, you are actually awakening the presence of their soul in their life. To start sort of helping them. So instead of cursing them and complaining about this guy's such a jerk and blah, 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 you're cursing the darkness. That's what you're doing. Light a candle. Light the soul within them. It's more productive. Now, if you don't want to do that, then we know the reason why. You prefer swimming in the darkness. Period. No excuses. You just don't like the other person to improve, so you have someone to shoot at. Is that direct enough for you? Some of you go, oh, it is what it is. Can't handle it? Oh, well, keep suffering. Try it. Before you go to bed, keep saying namaste to this person. Hopefully you don't have a long list. It changes you. It changes them. So stop cursing the darkness. Light a candle. Light the soul up. And your life will be better. Let's meditate. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, to my teacher, Master Tsokok Sui, Mahagu Jumeling, we thank you for divine light. Thank you for divine love. Thank you, divine power. Thank you for blessing us with peace, with love, with understanding, with harmony and forgiveness for ourselves and for others in full faith. So be it. All right, now that we took so long in this lecture, I apologize. Let's just do a shorter meditation. What we're going to do is, you know what? I won't tell you. Just do it. Put your hand like this. Put your attention on your crown. I am that. I am. I'm not the body. I'm not the emotion, not the thoughts. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am that. The soul, the spiritual self. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am connected in one to the divine spirit in me. I am a child of God. I am one with God. I am one with all. There is only oneness. We are one. Now just put your gentle awareness on a brilliant light floating above your head. Just keep looking at that light. And just affirm, I am that. Just look at that light and keep saying it. I am that light. I am that. In your mind's eye, look at a brilliant light above your head. The image doesn't have to be clear. And just keep saying, I am that. I am that light. I am that love. I am that power. I am that. Just be still and listen. Om. 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 Be aware of that light that is you. Allow your awareness to drift deeper and deeper and be one with that light. Om. 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 Your entire awareness is now that light. Just be still will intensify the energy and raise it to higher frequency. Just be receptive. Let go. Let things be. Now. You are that light. Be still. Now be aware of the love within your heart. Send a stream of love from your heart up to the crown and into that beautiful light now. And stay there. Just silently affirm, I am that, referring to that light. That I am. I am that. Keep referring to the light. I am that. That am I. I am that. I am that. That I am. Be still. I am that. That am I. I am. Meditate on those words. I am. The I am in me is one with the I am in all. The I am in me is one and the same with I am in all. The I am in me is one with the universal I am. And so it is. Be still. Gently, slowly, Come back to your physical body. Gently move your fingers, move your toes. Slowly, gently come back. Take your time. All right. Just give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother. Thank you. To all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints of all traditions, to all the holy archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahaguj Mailing, thank you all for the immense blessings in full faith, and so it is. Okay, I hope you had a good meditation. It was short, but we always make it up with booster rockets, just a little secret sauce to just kind of. All right, so we will see you in 7 hours and 12 minutes. I know we started slightly late. We're setting it up and all these things that we need to do. I hope you learned something about it. Again, it's a simple teaching. Light a candle. Don't curse the darkness. In other words, be proactive. Be the light. Let the light shine. When you find somebody swimming in the mud, pull them up, slap them around, fill them with light. Well, don't slap them around, but you get the idea. Clear? I think this is one of the lessons that I personally have to keep reminding myself, because sometimes what happens? We get affected by society, we get affected by news, we get affected by other people who just like to swim in the mud. And before you know it, you go, wait, this is not me. How can I feel heavy? That means you're already dragged into the mud. You're dragged into the darkness. What do you do? Ding! I am the soul. Okay. Hopefully these anchor light meditations keep shedding light in your life and let you realize that you are a being of light. And that way we can be of help to other people. All right. Namaste, everyone. You all take care. We will see you tonight, and I'll put this up again. Okay, I'll also post it on Instagram and the other places. There's a QR code that way you can use your phone to scan it. I'll also post the exact link, so you can just click on it. It's this Sunday, 10 a.m. California time. I know the ones who are in Asia, your time would be a little strange, but hey, you're probably up partying anyway, so you might as well use the time wisely. Okay, namaste, take care. We will see you 7 hours and 10 minutes from now. God bless.